Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of B. Byler Theology. Today we are in part 2 of the series in the book of Daniel. We saw in part 1 of how the southern kingdom, or Judah, was in the process of being overrun by the Babylonians. Therefore, Daniel would be brought to the Babylonian Empire. Despite all the changes Daniel had to face, he would remain faithful to his God. With the favor he would find in the sight of God and the favor that would be found from the king, Daniel would be set up to do great things. We're going to explore one of those great things, which is in part 2 of this series, the dream and the statue of nations. So in Daniel 2, we see that the king of Babylon had a dream and it troubled him. Therefore, he called all of his. No, do not go to any of these people I'm about to mention. It is kind of obvious the king did not fear the Lord anyway. So when he had this dream, he went to his enchanters, sorcerers, astrologers, all of his witchcrafty people, and he demanded that they tell him what he had dreamed. And I'm going to paraphrase the conversation, but the conversation kind of went like this. The people: tell us the dream so we can interpret it. The king: if you do not tell me my dream, I'm going to cut you into pieces and make your house a pile of dung. That last sentence is literally what it says. The people: tell us the dream so we can interpret it. The king: you have made up lies, and if I tell you the dream, you will tell me what I want to hear. So tell me what my dream is, then interpret it. To make a long story short, the conversation did not go very well until Daniel found out about what was going on. And Daniel finding out about what was going on, he would seek the Lord. And in Daniel seeking the Lord would reveal the dream and the interpretation of the dream to Daniel. And in the dream, there was a statue. The head was made of gold. The chest and arms were made of silver. The belly and thighs were made of bronze, and the legs of iron, and the feet of iron and clay. In the dream, there was a rock cut from a mountain, not by human hands. It struck the feet of the iron and clay, smashing them into bits. The whole statue was crushed into small pieces of iron, clay, bronze, silver, and gold. Then the wind blew them away without a trace, like chaff on a threshing floor. But the rock that knocked the statue down became a great mountain that covered the whole earth. Read Daniel chapter 2, verse 29 through 35. Then we see the interpretation where the scriptures say, now we will tell the king what it means. Your Majesty, you are the greatest of kings. The God of heaven has given you sovereignty, power, strength, and honor. He has made you the ruler over all the inhabited world and has put even the wild animals and birds under your control. You are the head of gold. But after your kingdom comes to an end, another kingdom inferior to yours will rise to take your place. After that kingdom has fallen, yet a third kingdom, represented by bronze, will rise to rule the world. Following that kingdom, there will be a fourth one, as strong as iron. That kingdom will smash and crush all previous empires, just as iron smashes and crushes everything it strikes. The feet and toes you saw were a combination of iron and baked clay, showing that this kingdom will be divided. Like iron mixed with clay, it will have some of the strength of iron, but while some parts of it will be as strong as iron, other parts will be as weak as clay. The mixture of iron and clay also shows that these kingdoms will try to strengthen themselves by forming alliances with each other through intermarriage, but they will not hold together, just as iron and clay do not mix. During the reigns of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed or conquered. It will crush all these kingdoms into nothingness, and it will stand forever. That is the meaning of the rock cut from the mountain, though not by human hands, that crushed to pieces the statue of iron, bronze, clay, silver, and gold. The great God was showing the king what will happen in the future. The dream is true, and its meaning is certain. Daniel chapter 2, verse 36 through 45. There are some theories to what has been fulfilled in the dream. Like, it is thought that, well, I think the first one is obvious. The head of gold represented the Babylonian era, which was from 626 to 539 BC. Then the chest and the arms of silver could represent the Medo-Persia era, which was from 539 to 332 BC. The belly and thighs of bronze could have represented the Greece era, which was from 332 to 63 BC, for Persia was conquered by Greece in 332. Then the legs of iron could have represented Rome. Then the feet of iron and clay could have represented the divided kingdom of Rome, which led to the fall of Rome. But I would think a more accurate interpretation of this could represent the modern nations that we have today. Then the stone represents the coming of God's kingdom. Through Daniel's telling of the dream and interpretation thereof, it would draw the king to recognize the God of Israel. Through all of this, Daniel would be greatly rewarded with many gifts and be made ruler over the whole province of Babylon. At Daniel's request, the king appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be in charge of the affairs of the province of Babylon. We will be talking more about these people in chapter 3, Nebuchadnezzar's statue, which was not a bunny. Sorry, VeggieTales is wrong on this one. Until next time.